amount?
50 from the town, 312 from the
Cut
board.
that down to, I don't know, maybe 20 now.
20 from the town?
The rest from the other side.
So what do you say?
Even bother. Why even bother?
Well, because it's said people voted, you know. Well, we have to make a vote, so.
But keep in mind that regardless of what we do here, it still goes to a public hearing, and then it goes to a vote, so that people will have a chance to express their.
We can change this after the public hearing. Yeah.
You think it's a lot from the Board of Education?
Is it possible just to table our decision until after we hear from the public?
No, we have to have a decision made tonight, because that affects the public hearing. And the public hearing has been set for the 28th.
Okay.
And then from there, I think the next thing is the town meeting, is that correct? Or the town meeting, and that has, there's a time frame on that as well.
June 3rd.
June 3rd.
So how about if we, is that motion dead?
It didn't pass.
We'll look at something there.
Yeah.
How about if we go to a 0.15 mill rate increase? All right? That'll give us $217,725 and change to come. That'll set the mill rate at 20.94. And say we take 20 from the town, 200,000, or the remainder from Board of Ed.
Are you putting that in the form of a motion?
Make that motion.
All right, so then we have a motion on the table made by Sean to reduce the cut by proposed budget by $217,726, which could create a 0.15 mill rate increase resulting in a 20.94. 20,000 to come from the town, the balance of 197,726 to come from the Board of Ed. Do I have a second? If there's no second, that motion dies.
So can I ask a question?
Sure.
What was everybody's thought on that? Was that not enough, too much, or what? I mean, we gotta know what we're working on here.
Okay, you know what zero means, right?
I know it's zero.
That's what it is.
But
So how much does you take off of what your number, bring it to zero?
But the problem is if we go to zero, that's taking over 300,000 from the Board of Ed.
That's what the town wants.
I'm
Gotta
trying
get away
I'm
from
trying to
what
do a
you
little
want.
bit better than not
We don't know that,
paying
Ted.
too
Pay
hard.
for this, how they voted.
No, they
The
just
vote
voted
was
no.
here, was right at down.
They didn't vote to cut it, they just voted no.
Maybe they
So
thought
you
it was
think
too
they might
low.
want to increase it?
The people I spoke to,
Yeah, you think they might want to increase it?
yes. The people that have children in
Make a
school,
motion.
We could always add,
no one's going to vote for that.
we can always add, we have to make a
That's why we
change.
need to
That's
speak to
the cut.
Well, make me understand why we can't say, if we all agree,
The people
on
I,
a zero,
sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yep.
No, continue.
What happens if we ask for a 0 mil increase, okay? We're at zero. That passes. Can we then make a motion to where we cut?
No, we have that. We have to have numbers. We have that proposed budget. Broken down by town.
We can't just cut the mill rate.
We have to know where it's coming from.
Okay, we will know if we take a second vote. So why can't we take a second vote?
Because it's
Works
not,
that way.
I don't know.
it's not on the agenda that way.
Yeah.
It's not on the agenda that way.
Not on the agenda anyway. There's new business.
And we can't add to the agenda because it's a special meeting.
Well, this is new business. That's new business. It doesn't say anywhere on the agenda that we can't vote twice.
Are you talking about re-voting on the previous motion?
Vote on a motion to, what do you call it?
Go
Mill rate at 0.
Okay.
Okay, when that's done, now we got a 0 increase. Now we decide what we're gonna make.
No, I think that has to be part of the motion,
For what?
because you have to know where it's going.
Well, you will know as soon as you make the motion and vote on it.
Well, all
You don't
do-
have to know the motion in one vote. What makes you think you have to have it in one vote? Is anybody here on skilled and parliamentary procedure?
All right,
Of course.
I forgot my Robert's rules for dummies.
Chair recognizes the first selectman.
I understand what you're trying to accomplish, Ted, but the item is only one item, and it's only one action item. Therefore, it has to be made in a motion of what the mill rate would be and where it has to come from, all in one motion. Because there's only one action item.
So now back to Stephanie's argument that she's hearing from parents that it's not enough. I'm hearing from residents that are saying they're still upset about last year's reevals and their taxes going up. That's why I understand it went the way it went yesterday.
You know, I heard the same thing about the assessment.
So that tells me people want the taxes cut or no tax
Yeah,
increase.
but last year it wasn't because of, we lowered the mill
It was
rate quite a bit.
It was a reeval. Well, you didn't bring it back down to even.
You lowered the mill rate, but the taxes still increased.
But it increased the taxes.
It's
We
not
had
our
a
fault that a
reval.
reval was due in 5 years. What about the 2-3 years before that we
But-
didn't pay enough
My-
taxes because our houses were evaluated low?
My point is that people have,
Until it was in a revaluation.
Okay. Sean?
But
my point is the people I've talked to told me they will not pass this, they will not vote past this budget because they're still upset about last year.
Yeah, I can see that, because it was a 20%.
That's why I think
You might have
zero
talked to me
or
because
really
I
low
was
is the only one you're gonna buy.
What's that?
0 or really low is the only one we're gonna get.
0.
Right.
That's why I asked you to add the cuts, but that didn't pass, so I don't know what the rest of the board wants. You and I seem to be together there. You have to discuss it with the rest of the board to see what they want. Let's go down each board member and see what they want. Start with Lynn.
I just don't like to see a big chunk taken from the Board of Ed.
Okay? And then make the motion.
I thought I was starting.
That's why I changed it to a 0.15 increase, because I was trying to cut how much we had from the Board of Ed.
That's nitpicking.
I know it is, but Ted,
That's making fun of the people.
But 2 weeks ago, you were supporting a 0 increase.
I was, but I also want to move this along.
But that's no reason.
Gary, what do you think?
I personally think we can take more from the town. Yeah. That's why I did what I did.
So 0 mil increase and take more from the town?
Yeah.
Give me a number.
I already gave one.
Well, it's all changed now. It's starting all over again.
I mean, I'll stay right in that general area.
What's that?
I'll stay right in that 125 area for the town.
125 from the town,
Yeah, so
30%
as much on the Board of Ed.
35.
and the rest from the board of ed.
Yeah.
What about you?
The last one was 217, 20 from the town, 197 from the...
I think that.
You think that's a better way to go?
What is it?
What Sean's last motion was. A total of 217, 20 from the town, 197 from the...
What does that mean as far as the...
That
The mill rate would go 20.94, which is a 0.15 increase.
It's got to be 0 increase. That's
What were
plain.
those numbers? I'm sorry.
Sean had proposed 217,726, which is a 0.15 mill rate increase, bringing it to 20.94. 20,000 to come from the town, 197,726 to come from the Board of Ed.
And just so everybody knows, we got a half hour and the Celtics are on.
came to us with almost no increase at all.
Well,
And then whatever increase they had, basically, we took it all away on
I don't know,
our last round.
what was on the
Because if you look
news, what was on the Winnie thing said there was a $454,000 increase to the board of town side.
Well, if
And
you look at,
$1,070,000, 510 would be the increase to the Board of Education.
well, I'm going to go by the,
But you gotta realize, they put in stuff into the revenues to make it look better. Revenues that aren't even here.
That's next year's problem.
if you looked at what was posted.
I'm going by what Mr. Cunningham gave to Winnie this morning, I believe. I believe they said you was discussing with
They
them.
always do that, but I didn't say that.
Anyway, to my point, when we first started, the town side brought us a basically almost a zero increase. And what we were looking at for an increase from the Board of Ed was well over $1 million. Now, we've been trimming that, but we've been trimming it also at the cost of the town. So my feeling is, and I'm going to agree with you, Ted, on this, and I know this is, 57% of the people who voted last night did not approve of the Board of Ed's budget. That's the number, plain and simple. There was no explanations offered. They just did not like that budget. Now, to your point, may I finish my? No, Stephanie, to your point, to your point, yes, there were probably people that didn't like it because maybe it was too low, and that's a valid point. But unfortunately, when you cast a ballot, you don't get to write comments on it. So there's really no way of knowing, and it could very well be that both of them didn't think it was appropriate because they thought it was too low. Unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball to tell us that. We only have what we have. The only information we have is what people come up and tell us about how they felt and their personal feelings about the budgets, whether it be the capital, the town, or the Board of Ed. So my thinking is, if we don't come up with a zero, we're just going to be back here. Where do we get it from? I really believe that Ted is right. Both of the people that voted against it probably had concerns saying it was too high. So how do we account for that? We can't go and ask every 300 people that voted, how did you vote? We're not allowed to do that. So we have to make the best decision possible based on the information we have.
I would go, whether you had. Make the adjustments after we have the public hearing. Put that out there right now. And make
The new, what Sean is proposing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after the public hearing, make final adjustments based on what we hear in the public hearing.
Okay.
We were coming down the road.
All right. Ted, your thoughts?
I don't understand what Donald just said.
He was suggesting that we go back to what Sean's motion was, and that was the cut of 217,726 with a .15 mill rate increase, and then put that out there, and let's see what the town people has to say about it.
I'm against any mill rate increase.
Okay.
I'm at zero, and I'll stay there. We were at zero at the beginning of the last month or whatever, and we did give a little bit, give and take, negotiate, or whatever you want to call it. And so I did come up to half a mil. I'm not coming up anymore. It's clear to me, it's got to be a zero mill rate increase. If you're playing 0.1/10 of 1% or whatever, you're playing games with the people.
I liked, well, I didn't like it because I was the one that proposed 100,000 just from the school. But whoever mentioned the 217,725, I can live with that. But Kevin kind of inferred that the town could afford 60,000.
Did I say
I
that?
never heard that.
Oh, I I couldn't interrupt him, so I'm gonna call you on that. 60,000 from the town, and the rest from the Board of Ed, which is about 157 from the Board of Ed.
Point of order, where are you getting that number from? 60,000, was there a side conversation somewhere?
No, that was part of our, that 60,000 was part of one of her motions.
I was just curious when Kevin inferred it was 60,000, that's my question.
That's what I understood. No, I'm going along with, somebody down there suggested 217. I'm saying I'm going along with that. I just wanted to change the balance of where the money came from. It would be, I don't know, a third from the town and 2/3 from the board, something like that. That's what I was thinking. I apologize to Kevin.
Second. What was the mill rate increase be?
115.
Okay, so my opinion is we've definitely cut from the town a lot. When we clearly in the vote, it said from the school. I understand that, but there's some people that think that that's too high. So I would be okay with voting down up to 150 on the school. And if it would make it actually pass the 20,000 from the town, but even that I think is too much. But if we lowered it to 150 from Board of Ed and 20 from the school, I'd vote for that.
Would that be a mill increase or zero?
No,
There was a mill increase.
Zero increase?
no, I don't.
We have to say what?
She's saying 170.
No, mill increase.
I don't know what the mill increase would
Well,
be.
we're at 0.25 now. And we want to come down, I think. So
It'd
my
be
proposal is
170,000.
zero, so whatever you said, just at the mill increase.
Yeah, 170,000. Remove that.
It's okay.
Oh, she's saying whatever that works out to. Kelly's back.
Not easy just to say the number.
She just said she can't do that.
So is there currently a motion on the board?
No. Yours was the last one, but.
I will restate my last motion.
Okay. Sean?
275,725.44 would be the cut. The 0.15 mill rate increase would be 20.94 would be the mill rate.
What's the distribution?
Distribution, same as before, 20 from the town, 197, 725.44 from the board.
Okay. Because you said 275, I thought you said.
I'm sorry, 217.
If we put the, you want the mill rate to be 20.94?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that difference is only 143,000.
Oh, I'm looking at the numbers.
Yeah, don't look at those, yeah.
All right, so, all right, you can make a point of clarification then. What do we need to cut to get to 20.94?
You don't want 20, you want 217,726?
Yeah.
Oh.
110 rate. 115 mill rate increase.
It would be 20.88.
If we cut 217?
217, yeah, 217,726
this
would be
is
20.88.
88?
Yeah.
So that's a 0.05 mill rate increase.
20.88 minus the 27.
Oh, you're right, thanks, Gary. All right, so Sean, would you like to restate your motion?
I'm all confused what the heck's going on here. So what? So none of these numbers you gave us are right?
Not, they're backwards.
They're backwards.
They're backwards. So it would start off, it would be 2084 would be second line, 2089 would be third, 2094 would be fourth, 2099 would be fifth. Top one's correct.
Dean, can I make a motion?
Yep. I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay.
My motion would be to have the mill rate be 20.92%, 150,000 coming from the Board of Ed and 20,000 coming from the town.
I'll second that.
And what does that bring the mill rate to?
20.92.
20.92?
92.
So we have a motion on the floor by Stephanie, seconded by Linda, for $170,000 in cuts, $20,000 from the town, $150,000 from the Board of Ed, to bring the mill rate to 20.92. Any other discussion?
I'll say it for the last time, we're playing games here. People are gonna hate us. This is ridiculous. Call for 0.15 mil rate increase.
Well,
You gotta go to zero and just let it be. That's what they want. Because of the last year, when the average residents went up 20%, including mine. But I did pay my taxes.
I just want to bring up a point. You know, you're saying 57%, which I respect what you're saying, but I'm saying that 75 bodies came in here and pulled the lever to vote no.
No, actually, there's more than that.
The difference is 75.
Oh, yeah,
more.
yes, the difference was 75.
Yeah, 300 people voted for it, something like 307 voted.
We got 35 people in here that voted no. That want the mill rate, what we proposed initially. Let me work on it. They're sitting.
Okay.
They're here to, yeah. Ask the superintendent.
Anyway,
Go ahead, ask the
that's how I feel.
superintendent.
I'm gonna vote.
All right, so motion on the table from Stephanie, reduction of $170,000, $20,000 from the town, $150,000 from the Board of Ed, to bring the mill rate to 20.92.
That's not what she said.
Is it not?
It was 150 from Board of Ed, 20 from the town?
Yeah, is that
Or
what it's right?
20.92?
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
All right. I'll restate. Motion is from Stephanie, seconded by Linda. Total reduction of $170,000, 20 from the town, 150 from the Board of Ed, to bring the mill rate to 20.92. Any other discussion? All right. If not, all those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. All right, all those opposed? All right, that motion does not carry.
Sean, what would it take to get you to vote for
I
it?
can't hear you.
Who's not here tonight?
Lisa?
She's an alternate.
Yeah, she's not.
So why'd you extend voting rights to Ted?
Because
I was-
Don was not here at the start of the meeting.
Oh, so we gotta change that because
Well, he's
No,
here now.
I didn't vote.
No, he didn't vote.
Who didn't vote?
Don doesn't.
I don't vote. I don't know.
I like to say we should do it on.
I can't hear you.
At least 200 total? Okay. But before it was 20.94 you were okay with. And this is only .00 off of that. So could we still go back to the 20.94 that you made a motion for
Well, I made a motion thinking that was a 27.
Yeah, but it still keeps the mill rate at the same that you were okay with before.
Yeah, I was looking at the dollar, not the number
Yeah.
at that point.
And this would still bring our Board of Ed increase below $1 million. And I think that would be good for the town to see that the people that did vote against it, now it's not over $1 million increase. I think that could help get it passed through the town.
On that other 30,000, $200,000 cut.
I don't think it's possible to cut any more from the town, honestly. So,
I don't know, I think there is.
You're saying
Yeah.
cut 200,000 from the board increases now?
no, the 20,000 from the towns. So would that be another $30,000 difference? So 180 from the school. Are this opinions from anyone else so we can know what you're thinking?
If we cut 200,000, what's the mill rate?
$20.90.
So if we took 30 from the town, 170 from the Board of Ed, for a total of $200,000 reduction.
Okay.
So what was that, no rate number?
20.90.
I'll make a motion for a $200,000 reduction, 30,000 from the town, 170 from the Board of Ed, setting the mill rate at 20.90.
All right, we have a motion on the table from Sean. Do I have a second?
I'd second that.
What does that do to the current .25?
Makes it like a
It's .11. It's
.11.
.11 now. After we get input from a public hearing,
That's almost like a slap in the face to the public. .11, come on. Gee.
we have to start somewhere though.
Well,
Go at
I
zero,
went
we
with
should.
I went with
We
the
all know
zero.
we should be at zero.
I went with the zero, but that, everybody felt that that was too much coming out of the Board of Ed.
Take less out of the Board of Ed.
That means you gotta take more out of the town side. And they're saying they can't do it.
Who said they can't do it?
But that's kind of what I'm hearing over here right now in the conversations amongst ourselves and every now and then.
I didn't hear him say that.
There will be little pieces here and there.
Can be done.
I don't know, he almost choked when Linda said 60. That's what I'm going by.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, $200,000 reduction, 170 from the Board of Ed in the town. Motion made by Sean, seconded by Stephanie to bring the mill rate to 20.9. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by raising your hand. All right, all opposed? Motion is not carried.
So So everybody was against, other than going to a zero, what would we do to make this work? Everybody was opposed to that last motion, what can we do to make it work? You guys were all opposed, give me an idea. I know who wants a zero, you want a zero, but Linda and Dean, what do you think?
As much as I'd like a zero,
I would love a zero too, but it doesn't seem like that's going to work.
I don't know.
It's not so much going to zero that's the problem, is we don't, most of us don't want to take money from the school department. And that's where it's going to come from.
And that's why I'm trying to come up with a little less. Still give them a little bit of an increase to have something, I'm not taking it all.
We're still going to come up with zero. And you know that. The only other way is to take more from the town.
I don't think you have enough faith that the taxpayers want us to really put our kids in school and have police drive up and down the road. They're going to take a little increase. It's not, look, I know you're going to pay your taxes no matter what we do, Ted, but that's not that much. Oh, more you want. It's like $8, $10, $15 a year.
That's for you. That's for you.
Okay,
Everybody's
so
got a different
suppose it's
situation.
30, it's a,
I know.
do the math. It's either 2,079 or 2,001, 2125. The difference is $25.
I'll ask the superintendent question. Can you put that according to it?
Madam Chair, question. It's interesting,
We asked if you could cut a quarter mil.
I'll give the same answer that I gave before. The first place I would start is I would have to start by looking at personnel. Not a lot of savings in transportation. We would have to change pre-K buses. Pre-K families really don't want us to do. There's no savings in insurance. Insurance costs more. There's no savings in dues or fees or legal fees. All of that costs more. There's no savings in what we're sharing with the town for KERMA or insurance. All of that's costing more. When I presented my initial budget, I showed that inflation was 6%. And that, we were trying to come in at a certain rate because all of those expenses cost more. My special education, those outplacements cost more. The state's not funding me more. So when you ask the question, can I cut $250,000, the answer becomes, I have to look at restructuring. It will cost people jobs. That's just where it is. And I agree with Mr. Cunningham. I'm not here to make enemies with the town or the finance or any other persons. We're all here for what's best in Plainfield. I'm going to keep advocating for the kids and their needs and to try to put those resources in front of the kids because that's the best investment I believe in the town long term. And I appreciate everyone who's saying supportive things to the board, but I know you've got a tough decision to make.
And I think this board is all in your favor. If we had the financial ability, we'd give you even more. But now this becomes a give and take process. So asking you to give, we've asked the selectman, he's done so, to get us out of here, and this is the figure we think, or at least I think could pass. 250 from you and 112 from him.
I don't want to speak for him.
All we need is your okay and we get out of here.
So I'm going to tell you, I actually can't answer that.
That's not necessarily true.
I'm an employee of the board. I'm the board's only employee.
You want to vote to answer the question? Or your financial director, I don't care who answers.
I'm on board education. I could answer. No? Okay.
I'm not sure I can answer the question. I'm not sure it's an appropriate question to be framed in a forum like this.
Come on, Dean, do your job.
At the end of the day, we're all neighbors. All right, we have to navigate a course to get through this process. No budget season is easy. every budget season comes with its own little hiccups. And there are times where our discussions get very passionate, and there are times where we sit and listen to people that are very passionate. Knowing the results of last night's vote, we have to interpret the numbers the best we can. A lot of good points have been made tonight, and I would like to personally extend apology to anybody that I may have offended with my abruptness tonight. I do sincerely apologize for that, but it was clearly stated in the agenda that this is not citizens' participation unless the board directs a question to somebody here. There will be another opportunity for a public hearing, and by all means, please come. I appreciate those that spoke at the last meeting. Getting up in front of people is not easy. Some people are a little bit more comfortable with doing that than others, and that's understandable. It depends on what your personality is and your life experience. At the end of the day, we're all neighbors. We've got to find a way to work together. We've got to find a way to make the best decision possible, but at the end of the day, it falls to the voters. And there'll be another vote. That's just the way it's going to be. People get a chance to vote again. And like we did last year, we went through this process 3 times. And it wasn't easy, and there was a lot of angst, and again, people get passionate. But we have to come up with some sort of decision that people can talk about on the 28th. And that's what tonight's about. And hopefully people will come out and tell us, hey, listen, we weren't here last time, we want to voice our support, or we want to voice our opposition. And I'd just like to say I appreciate the support from the people from Plainfield school system. I know that you're very passionate about their jobs. My kids went through the school system, so I appreciate everything that you do. But we have to come up with a decision tonight, something that we can put forward. And I would like to revisit, Sean, the comment, your more recent motion.
I'm totally lost. I don't know where we're at now.
The last motion that you made was a $200,000 cut, 30 from the town, 170 from the VOE, to bring us to a 20.90 mill rate, which is 0.11.
That would be a mill increase.
It would be a mill increase. But the good thing about that, Ted, is that if it's a mill increase, it has to go to a referendum, which means that hopefully
Town
more
meeting.
people get
Town
out.
meeting.
Town meeting.
Town meeting.
Well, town meeting first.
There's no
No,
referendum.
no referendum.
We,
Are you sure?
We don't have enough elected people that
All right.
voted.
But it's an increase.
It doesn't matter.
Dean,
It's
if you don't
not
mind.
enough elected.
All right, excuse me, I'll defer to the selectman for point of clarification.
Yeah, I think it was in an article last night from WINOI, because I explained to them under section 2.4 of the budget that if you don't get under section B, at least 25% of the eligible electors casting ballots at the referendum, then all subsequent ballot on the budget shall be at town meeting.
Okay, thank you. I
had roughly what, 5%?
5%.
5%.
If we mill increase, 250 from the school department, 112 from the selectmen, and if we're wrong, let the hearing tell us we're wrong, and then we'll make an adjustment. Let the hearing decide. Let's give them some numbers. These are their numbers. The hearing will come up, and they'll say, you're full of prunes, you can't do it that way. Fine, we'll make another adjustment. We'll look for suggestions and make an adjustment.
I'd like to make a motion. Is there a motion on the floor? I'd like to make a
He
motion.
just
That was a motion?
You want to state that formally, please?
I make a motion, we cut the mill rate down, the increase to 0, and 250 be taken from the school department, 112 be taken from the selectmen's budget. And let the, what do you call it, the hearing decide if we're wrong. If we're wrong, we come back and we do it over.
All right, Ted has made a motion. that we reduce the budget by $362,876. Where do you want that to come from?
I don't know the math, but somewhere around 250, 112, whatever that is.
All right. Well, we have to put it on the dollar. You said 112,875, Sean?
I believe that's what it would be if you took 250 from the Board of Ed,
Yeah,
the remainder.
yeah,
Yeah, well,
that sounds right.
I'm not part of that motion, by the way.
All right, no, thank you.
Yep,
All right, so Ted has made a motion to reduce the budget by $362,876, $112,876 coming from the town, $250,000 coming from the Board of Ed, to bring the mill rate flat at 20.79. Do I have a second?
Oh, sorry.
Any other discussion? All right, if there is no other discussion, I will call for a vote on the motion on the floor. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Opposed?
Oh, would you say no?
Just
Just now you said no?
Yeah, opposed, yes.
Okay.
Okay, that motion does not carry.
It's too much for the town somewhere.
The same number as what got the town site.
Or-
Cut that
or-
112 in half or better.
Or if you don't want to go up that much on the Board of Ed, we gotta give a little more increase. That's what I was trying to do, is cut my, so we weren't cutting the Board of Ed quite as much like everybody wants. I don't think it's a fair split. We're taking away too much from the town side of that.
you know,
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay,
If we split the difference, we split the 362 in half, it comes out to be about 180,000. 20% from the town and 160 from the Board of Ed.
by raising the mill rate.
Yeah.
So you,
She's not at zero.
she's not in there.
No,
She's
she's
at
at
Close to
one-
what we
somewhere,
had.
somewhere at the mill rate.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
not
at
sure.
105.
The difference between keeping the mill rate flat or going to what we proposed, I cut it in half. Comes out to cutting the budget by 180,000, 20 to the town, 160 to the Board of Ed. It's not all figured out. Ellie just told you these numbers like here are wrong. So that's why I'm saying it the way I'm saying it.
all right, so you're proposing a cut of 180,000, Linda?
Yeah.
All right, do you want to state that in the form of a motion?
I make a motion that we cut the proposed budget by 180,000, 20,000 from the town, 160 from the Board of Ed, which would result in a mill rate of whatever Kelly says.
You guys vote on it.
What's that?
I said after you vote on it.
I mean, I could, you know, the end of the motion would be as figured.
I would second what she's saying.
All right. Do you know what that is yet?
20.91.
20.91?
Yes.
You said
That was a $200,000 project.
I know, now it's like.
All right, so we have a motion for a budget reduction of $180,000, 20 from the town, 160 from the Board of Ed, to bring the mill rate to 20.91. Is there any other discussion?
You get that kind of an increase, I'll say it again, I think it's just a big joke. We're going to be a laughing stock at town. We're not doing our job. We got a job to do, and we're going to have the intestinal fortitude to do it. We don't have it.
All right, if there's no other discussion, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of the proposed cut of $180,000, please signify by raising your hand. All those opposed? Abstention? Two, four, five against.
Say that again.
There was 2 in favor, 5 against. 7.
And Don's not
Right.
That was the 8.
We already said it.
One, two, three.
We went through this, like, we came in late, I took his place.
I wasn't.
At least the $200,000.
What's that?
At least the $200,000 cut.
Can we bring that into motion again, what we had before for the 200,000?
I'll make a motion for a $200,000 cut, $30,000 from the town, $170 from the school, for a mill rate of 20.90.
I'll second that.
What kind of an increase would that be?
0.11.
0.11.
0.11? I'm still at 0.
All right. Any other discussion? In that case, all those in favor of the motion on the floor of the $200,000 decrease, $30,000 to the town, $170,000 to the Board of Ed, to result in a 20.90 mill rate increase, signify by raising your hand. All right, all those opposed? That motion carries. All right. Again, thank you all for being here. Participation and lively, animated discussion. I will now look for a motion to adjourn.
Can we adjourn? We haven't finished our business. Did that fail or did it pass?
It passed.
Oh, it did?
It
Okay.
did pass.
Sorry.
4 in favor, 3 against.
I thought it failed.
No.
My mistake.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion to adjourn has been made. All those in favor, Roger, second.
To adjourn? Yes.
Okay, motion made to adjourn, seconded by Linda. All in favor, signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Abstained?